Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Wednesday Wisdom on the Educational AD Podcast. Before we meet today's guest, let's give a shout out to our partners, the Global Community of Women in High School Sports, the Florida Coaches Coalition, We Coach, and Vital Signs Wall of Fame. You've heard me say many times, these are four great organizations. You really need to add them to your network. And now, don't hit that fast forward button. Stay with us for the next 3 minutes as we give our sponsors a shout out. These are all great companies that I used as an AD or as a coach. You should be using them too. Here we go. We want to say thanks to Home Campus for their support. Home Campus is the exclusive high school and state association management platform for the podcast. It's also your one-stop platform for scheduling, student athlete eligibility and clearance, and a whole lot more. As an athletic director, I used Home Campus every single day, and it was just fantastic. And the Home Campus team was great to work with too. To find out more, all you need to do is go to homecampus.com. That's homecampus.com. Check them out today. We also want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. You know, they're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their great products, their interactive touchscreen video consoles, and more. And when you're ready to order, mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount. Let them help you showcase your school's diverse history and your proudest moments. vitalsignswalloffame.com. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. Go to huddle.com and change the way you see the game. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure our school was a Huddle school, and our coaches just loved the tools that Huddle provided that helped them coach our kids at the highest level. At Huddle, we believe in sports, and teams believe in Huddle. Join the 6 million users. Turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Gipper's the official social media graphics solution for the Educational AD Podcast. And if you go to Gipper.com, their team is going to show you how to create world-class graphics for your school's social media channel. Celebrate your athletes, promote your teams, promote your program. Gipper's used and trusted by over 3,000 athletic departments across the country, and they're just waiting to help you. Go to Gipper.com, mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount. That's Gipper.com. We also want to thank Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com and check out their entire suite of platforms designed to help you do your job better. Of course, there's Snap Raise, their $700 million fundraising platform, but you also have Snap Manage, Snap Store, and all the rest. You'll find it all at snapraise.com, snapraise.com. We want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing, digital ticketing that offers more. Whether it's more support, more security, more customization, Hometown is here to make the best solution for you. And when you get signed up with Hometown, in addition to the platform, they're going to give you a dedicated client success manager to provide hands-on support every step of the way. That's every step of the way. Go to hometownticketing.com to get started. Simple and easy online ticketing. We want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, schedule a live web demo, see their tables and their boards in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made as an athletic director. That's sidelineinteractive.com. We also want to thank District 1. Go to District 1, that's WON, and you're going to feel like you've won when you see their custom uniforms, their on-time delivery, 20 business days or less, and their one-at-a-time replacement program. You'll never have to order a full set when all you need is one or two replacements. Go to district1.com, click on the Team Gear button, and get your free quote. district1.com. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to show you how they can set up a custom survey that's going to connect you with your parents and your student athletes. ADs usually only hear from the complainers, the 2% that want to gripe. And Athletic Surveys will connect you with the 2%, but they'll also connect you with the 98% that love and support your program. And that's a tremendously valuable tool to have when you're talking to a frustrated parent, your principal, or your school board. You can find it all at athleticsurveys.com. That's athleticsurveys.com. Check them out today. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Wednesday Wisdom on the Educational AD podcast. We've got a good friend back with us, Shea Collins. Regular listeners will recognize that name. Shea's a longtime athletic director. She's a certified athletic administrator. She's also a very sought after speaker, a consultant with her own business, 365 mentoring and coaching. And she's recently taken a new position. She's the director of student activities at Thomas Jefferson High School in Richmond, Virginia. Shea, welcome back to Wednesday Wisdom. And what do you have for our listeners this week?
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be back. This seems to be normal for us. We're such great friends. So it's a pleasure to be back. Today, I just want to talk about rejuvenation of your mind, yourself, and how important it is to rejuvenate yourself for the job ahead for student activity directors, athletic directors, director of student activities, whatever, title you hold in athletic administration. One thing I want to say is I had to learn this, so it is different for me to speak about it because I learned this for myself, but I want to pass on to someone else. Number one, I think it's important for everyone to take time away from the job that you do. You feel these people, your coaches, parents, student activity, other student activity directors, maybe the administrative staff, any type of athlete, whether it's your trainer, coaches, whomever it is, you fuel them all year. Who is going to fuel you when you need it? So take the time. If you get a month off, you get 2 weeks off, even if you are a 12-month employee, take at least a week or two in the summer to talk to no one but yourself if you want to, and your family. Let that time go by. Number two, be reminded of why you have the job, you want the job. We can't always transition to change everything that happens in a month or 2 months, but always be consistent on trying to make positive change. If it's one thing you take from the year before into the new year, work on that one thing. Be conscious of always trying to mentor and make sure that your coaches are thriving. Thriving is not about wins and losses, but thriving is also in their professional and personal growth. That's also important. And number three, if I had to pick three things, I would say the other one is to enjoy life, whatever your outside life looks like, outside of your schoolwork, enjoy that time. Because once it's gone, you can't get it back. Time is the one thing we can't get back. So whatever you have to make room, whether it's going to the gym at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock because you're too busy in the afternoon, do that. If it means closing your door, eating your lunch for 5 minutes, an hour and a half to get that downtime, do that. Do what it is that you need to do to gain self composure, but also self-reliance on what it is that's important to you. So you can flash back, people call it flashback day or whatever, but you can flash back and think about the things that's important to you, but give yourself that time every day to think about that and to have your own downtime.
I'm really glad that you shared this particular topic because it's one that, we're hearing a lot more about, but sometimes in the wrong way. It's, the negative effects that have happened because somebody didn't take care of themselves.
Right.
And I think athletic directors, like us, I think athletic directors in general, they're problem solvers, they're solution finders, and they're just so focused on that job, whether it's the day-to-day grind or those emergencies that seem to pop up, that they end up neglecting themselves. And you're absolutely right. You have to be intentional. You have to schedule that time for yourself. As you've been in the profession, and again, I'm a little bit older than you, but as you've been in the profession, what are some changes that you have done for yourself that you've seen to have a positive impact in your lifestyle? Anything you can share?
Well, I will say when I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And that means I was running 1,000 feet, time, speed, whatever word you want to call it. You've been in a job longer than me, obviously, but we're running 1,000 miles an hour speed because, as you just said, we're problem solvers. We tend to take care of everyone. We want to make sure everyone else is okay. And we're just working all the time, not realizing we are working ourselves with word I don't like to use, to death. To death not means we're not living, but to death in the point of we're not understanding what we are missing in our own lives. So what has helped me was I got sick and I haven't been to the hospital in years, and that showed me in a respectful manner, you are a person to these people. You are a person / job. They may not take you as seriously as you take yourself, because you take everything serious. Like, we are there, like you said, problem fixers. But I became a person and a job to them. It was, are you still going to get this done? Even though you have a doctor's note, are you still going to get this done? I still need this. We still need this. We still need that. And I learned in that moment to delegate in my job. I talked to one of my friends, which I'm not going to call his name. He knows who he is. I tell him this all the time: delegate, 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 because I learned to do that. And I figured out doing that is okay. We don't always have to stand over somebody that we gave a job to. It's their job to do the job we asked them to do. Now, if they don't do it, then we pull that back. You know what I mean? Because we still have a job to do, but allowing them that opportunity. And then sometimes by me allowing an opportunity to someone, I saw a skill in them that I didn't know they had. And I'm like, you know what? Let me use that skill again. Hey, can you do this for me? Because you did a great job with that. But that was because I allowed that person to do something that they were comfortable with, but also that helped me. So I learned that kind of the hard way, but I learned to take the time. And I also learned in a way in the summertime, when we have that Virginia High School League dig period, because we're Virginia High School, everybody has their own particular state league. When we have that dead time, it's literally that time for us to rejuvenate as well. I don't talk to coaches. I don't text. I don't email. I don't do anything during that week. I learned the hard way. Now, 7 years into it, I learned. I'm going into year 11, but I still learned it, right? And because I want to be available to my sons, I don't want my school to send them a flower and a card, because that's what's going to happen. And all of us are running this race so fast that we do everything ourselves. Being a leader who's had 34 teams to having 17, to having 19, to having 9, it doesn't matter the number of sports you have. It matters in how you are present for yourself, but also for your job. Because if you're not well, your school is not well, your team is not well, they can see it, and your family, if you have one, is not well. I learned the hard way, and I will never look back again on maintaining myself, but also making sure I'm present for family and present for the times that's going to benefit me the most.
It seems so obvious, but people, maybe that's why they miss it. You can't take care of your school and your teams and your coaches if you're not 100%. You talk about the
Right.
athletes, we want to train them, the coaches. Well, hey, we need to make sure we're training our bodies, and that includes, rest and nutrition,
Right.
et cetera.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
you bring up a great point about developing leaders in your own department, because every athletic director, you've got coaches that maybe they haven't told you, but they're looking for
Right.
leadership opportunities. They're looking for ways to grow. And what better way than to, delegate some authority to them and have them be the site manager for a particular home game. And you're not at every single event. Great ideas. Okay. Shea, again, I know you're very busy, but if one of our listeners wants to reach out, pick your brain a little bit, and listeners, you've got a great resource here. What's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Well, I'm on social media at 10S Collins. That's on Twitter. The number 10, capital S, lowercase c, or LLINS. So 10S Collins. I'm also at Richmond, S Collins 3 at rvaschools.net, S Collins 3 at rvaschools.net. And I'm also on LinkedIn. So you can look me up on any of those social media platforms, or email me if you have any questions. My goal is to always develop people. I learned from Jake, I learned from other people how to be a leader, but I also want to help other people to be a leader. I'm one who will always tell somebody, thank you for helping me. Thank you for doing this for me. Thank you for showing me this. And I think as we go along in life, gratitude is so important, that we share that time versus when the person can't hear us, we tell them thank you. We need to tell them before the time that they can't hear us say it. So I want to say, and I say it to you every time, thank you so much for being a great friend, being a great resource, but also I'm famous because you're famous. So thank you so much.
Hey, I'm just riding your coattails, Shea.
Right.
Shea Collins, Director of Student Activities, Thomas Jefferson High School in Richmond, and the Director of 365 Mentoring and Coaching. Check her out on Twitter, on LinkedIn. She's right. She is very active on there. Some great posts. Shea, thanks as always for spending time with us, and all the best with Thomas Jefferson.
Thank you so much. I'm blessed, I'm honored, and I'm excited to work with not only our coaches and our student athletes, but also our administrative staff and teachers. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're going to be following you and watching all the exciting things that happen there. For our listeners, we appreciate you tuning in. We do this every single week, and we upload the Zoom recordings to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. Thanks again for listening. Come back next Wednesday for another segment on Wednesday Wisdom, and just about every day on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time. Before we go, we do want to acknowledge our sponsors one last time. Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com. Check out their entire suite of platforms designed to help you do your job better, particularly Snap Raise, the best fundraising platform out there. I want to say thanks to Hometown Ticketing, leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. Do I need to say anything else? Go to hometownticketing.com for more information. Vital Signs Wall of Fame is on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their interactive touchscreen video consoles. Let them show you all the things they can do to help you promote your program and tell more compelling stories. District 1 is a great stop for custom uniforms. They also offer one at a time uniform replacement. You don't have to buy a whole set. Go to District 1, that's WON.com. I want to say thanks to Gipper, the official social media solution for the Educational AD Podcast. Go to Gipper.com. They're going to show you how to create custom content for your school's social media channel. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com, schedule a live web demo, see their products in action. We also want to thank Home Campus, the exclusive platform for high school registration, student athlete eligibility, and clearance. I used Home Campus every single day when I was an athletic director, and it was just fantastic. Go to homecampus.com, see what they can do for you. We want to thank Huddle for their support. As a football coach, I used Huddle. As an AD, we were a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com to get started. And Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. If you're not using a survey to take the pulse of your parents and your student athletes, you're really missing out. Talk to the pros at athleticsurveys.com. Let them create a custom survey for you. Thanks again for listening to Wednesday Wisdom. We will see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.